All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Wednesday, January 4th. We got a 12 game slate starting with DraftKings, starting with point guard LaMelo, 10.2K against Memphis. Should be a little bit of a I'm lying. Memphis is smash Charlotte. I wanted to say this should be a little bit of a shootout, but I'm not really confident in Charlotte. I know Gordon Hayward didn't finish that game. Let's see what they have available. Dennis Smith, Oubre's out, Rozier's out, Hayward is out. No, Hayward is screw Hayward. To be honest with you, screw him. Do they have enough guns to keep up with Memphis? I believe not. But if you want to play Melo Rozier, if Hayward is out, um, Rozier and Ball gets a little bit of a bump. Dennis Smith Jr. gets a little bit of a bump. So there's pieces from Charlotte you could play with, but honestly, that game might be a blowout. Charlotte is trash. LaMelo's absolutely in play. John Morant 10.1K absolutely in play. Harden 9.8K in play. Lillard, he stands out because I love his matchup 9.7K. Fire him up. Donovan Mitchell 9.6K. Usually when Donovan Mitchell gets hot, he stays hot for a few games. Go right back to him. Fire him up. Trae Young 9.5K. Like his matchup, this should be a little bit of a shootout. You want to stack him, Fox, Monk, Murray, any variation of those guys. You want to do that? Herder, go on ahead. Have at it. Halliburton 9.1K. Too cheap. Fire him up. Hero 8,900 against the Lakers. Wow. The Lakers can't defend anyone. Furthermore, shooters. Hero's absolutely in play at his price tag. Kyrie 8,800 against Chicago. Should be a tight game, close game, high scoring game. Um, Kyrie thrives in those types of games where you have the stars from the other side going at him, and then he could go back at them. Him and Durant. So if this is a close game, Kyrie and Durant will have good fantasy scores. De'Aaron Fox, spoke about him briefly. Stack him with the Atlanta crew, and hope for a close game. DeJounte Murray, part of that Atlanta Sacramento stack that I'm talking about. Play him. Play variations of him because that game should be close. That game should be close. Jordan Poole 8,300 against Detroit. Okay play. Nah, I'm not enthusiastic. Let's see what he's been doing. 37, 34, 30, 37, 34, 29. Okay. 8.3K, 8.2K, 8.6K. This 37 and the 34 won't kill you. The 29 will. 55 fantasy points is what you're really looking for. The 45 points is like the floor at 8.2K. You're looking for like 42 fantasy points minimum. So the 45 and the 55 are what you're looking for. The 29 will destroy you. The 34 you're okay, and the 37 is a little bit better. Not the end of the world. So just be careful with Jordan Poole at his elevated price. McCollum 8,200 in play. No Zion. Fire McCollum up. Drew Holiday 8,100. Okay play. Garland 7,900. Okay play. Chris Paul 7,700. Okay play. D'Angelo Russell, I'd absolutely put him in a stack with Lillard and Simons. So Russell's absolutely in play. You're looking for a close game. Westbrook, if he's healthy, you could play him. Porter Jr. 7,500 is he's at a good price. You're hoping that game stays close so you can get all that Porter has to offer from a fantasy standpoint. Because if that game blows out, then Porter probably won't play the fourth, and you'll be mad. Van Vliet 7,300, too cheap on DraftKings. Fire him up. Maxey 7,300 coming off the bench. I don't think so. Josh Giddey, if SGA is in, He's an okay play if SGA is out. Go right back to him at 7,100. Jalen Brunson is too cheap. Fire him up. Anthony Simons, I like the matchup. 6,900. Fire him up. Marcus Fultz against OKC. 6,600. I do like. I wish he was 6K, but he's an okay play at 6,600. If Jalen Suggs is back in the mix, then take that back. I don't want anything to do with Fultz. If they're going to be rotating Suggs, Fultz, and Cole Anthony, then I'm good. Quickly, 6,200. Brunson is back. We really don't need him. He's not a bad play, but he's not a 6,200 fantasy player right now with Brunson back. He's gonna get a little bit of a bump with no Barrett, but like I said, that doesn't. I don't believe that justifies $6,200. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Lowry at 62 against the Lakers, absolutely in play. Melton, I'm not interested in. Trey Jones, 5,700 in play. Killian Hayes, 5,600 is an okay play. Jaden Ivey, 5,500, same boat, okay play. Cole Anthony, just spoke about him. If Suggs is in, I'm not interested in. Campaign, 5,100. You could take a shot on Campaign. I'm not interested in Burks. Schroeder, if you're playing like 20 lineups, 25 lineups, you could throw him in one. Dennis Smith Jr., you could probably take a shot if both Oubre and Hayward is out. Oladipo, you could probably take a shot if you're playing many lineups. Malik Monk, take a shot. Pat Bev, Ayo DeSumno, take shots. Alvarado, you could take a shot on him if you like, if you're feeling frisky. Miles McBride, he might be the worst basketball player in the league. He might be the worst fantasy player of all time. Last 5 games. Let's do the last 4 games. Let's be fair. 46 minutes, 21 fantasy points. 31 minutes, 13 fantasy points. 35 minutes, 10 fantasy points. 18 minutes, 3 fantasy points. Tell me a fantasy player worse than him. This guy makes PJ Tucker look like Tim Duncan. Trey Mann, if SGA is out, you go right back to Trey Mann. He doesn't start, but he produces. Him not starting scares people off, and then he hits value. So just listen to what I'm saying. Trey Mann not starting scares people off, and then he hits value. So if Shai Gilgeous doesn't play, and you have a last man in at guard, 3,700, just play Trey Mann. You're welcome. Caruso, he's an okay play. Ty Jerome, you could take a shot. Kobe White is not a bad play. He's just not for me. Dragic takes a little bit of Kobe White's minutes also. I would need Dragic to not be playing before I even consider Kobe White. Anyone else? Now let's go to shooting guard. All right. Anthony Edwards, 9,400, part of that Portland stack. Fire him up. Klay Thompson, I know he had a virtuoso. It got overshadowed by a whole bunch of sports news. Klay Thompson, last 5 games, 17, 42, 44, 42, and 74 fantasy points. His price went up $500. Before he becomes another 8K player, $8,200 player, play Klay Thompson while you can. He's taking the shots. He's playing the minutes. Zach LaVine, always a little bit underpriced, but you never know who's going to go off between him and DeRozan. But this is going to be the game for him to show his skill. So 7,300, Zach LaVine is a little bit too cheap for this matchup against Brooklyn, which should be a back and forth. Fire him up. Rozier, 7K. If no Oubre, no Hayward, fire him up. Bane, 6,700. Fire him up. Jalen Green, 6,600 in play. Vassell, if he plays, 6,500 in play. OG, 6,400 in play. DiVincenzo, if he starts, 6,100 in play. Not a great play, but in play. Buddy Hield, 6,100 in play. Bogdan, 5,900. A little bit too risky. I don't like playing. I don't like having. I don't like playing Bogdanovich when you have Young and Murray healthy. That just it's only one ball. You know what I'm saying? You need Bogdanovich to have a lot of volume shooting. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. I mean, Murray doesn't take a whole deal of shot. He doesn't take a lot of shots, but he could. You know what I'm saying? But he soaks up a lot of usage. So I heavily consider usage when building my lineup. I'm not trying to play too many high usage players from one game, because what happens is not every game the usage is going to be the same. It's going to fluctuate. For example, Mitchell and Garland, that usage fluctuates. Usually it leans towards the side of Mitchell, but some nights Garland will get heavier usage. Levine and DeRozan, just tandems like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even sometimes on the Sixers, Embiid and Harden, you get a game where Embiid gets 25 shots, and then the next game he'll get 14. Same thing with Harden. So you got to look at usage, and if there's two high usage players, play one. I usually don't play both, unless it's like a very short slate, or they're playing the Lakers, or they're playing Charlotte, or they're playing something like that. All right, let's focus. Where were we? Bogdanovich. Okay, so Bogdanovich, okay, play in the player pool. Not for me on this slate. Quentin Grimes, 5,800 in play. Dylan Brooks in play. LeVert, 55 in play. Gary Trent, 55 in play. Herder, 5,300, absolutely in play against Atlanta. You can include him in a Atlanta Sacramento stat. Trey Murphy, 4,800. No Zion, he's in play. Jalen Noel, 4,800 in play. Strus, we don't really need. Lonnie Walker, we don't really need. Matherin's price is falling. Game log. Last 5 games, 31, 24, 29, 20, and 26. He's pretty cheap. If he was your last man in, I won't be mad. He's getting really cheap. Royce O'Neal, 4,400. I don't mind him in this matchup against Chicago, which should be a back and forth. It's going to be a lot of fantasy points to go around, so I wouldn't mind Royce O'Neal on this slate, last man in type deal. All right. Reeves, 4,300. If you wanted to take a shot on Reeves, you could. Cody Martin, we don't need. Connington, I don't need. Seth Curry, I don't need right now. All right, let's go to small forward. All right. Braun 10-7, too cheap. Miami is a tough matchup. Let's see what happened against Miami the last time up. 45 fantasy points. Last 5 games, 52, 46, 45, 76, and 67. All right. Miami's a tough matchup. He's going to have Bam. He's going to have Butler, Lowry. These guys in his face all game. It's going to be tough. He's probably going to put up 50-plus fantasy points. They're probably going to lose. I'm going to fade him, and he's going to put up 70 fantasy points. But I'm not playing. I'm not spending up for LeBron on this slate against Miami. I'm just going to do my best to try to stay away from it. Tell myself that Miami is going to make it tough on him, and pray he doesn't drop 70. All right? Durant, 10K, absolutely in play. DeRozan, 9,100, absolutely in play. Banchero, I'm off of him for now. I don't need him. Jeremy Grant, 7,500 in play. Keldon Johnson, 6,900 in play. Scotty Barnes, 6,700. Unfortunately, he is in play. Tobias Harris, 6,400 in play. Mikal Bridges, 6,200 in play. Josh Hart, 6,100 in play. Listen, if you want to, I'm be honest. I'm making a stand. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm never playing Gordon Hayward again in my life. In my life, in your life, it doesn't matter. I'm never playing Gordon Hayward again. I got a little. I got suckered into him on DraftKings because he was like 5,700. FanDuel, he was like 6,100. I got suckered into playing him again. And what did he do? He not finish his game. Let me tell you something. You want to play Gordon Hayward against my best wishes? Have at it. But you know what I'm about to tell you. It's gonna be an early night. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in the futon under the covers next to the fireplace, eating a bag of Doritos, watching the Expendables 1, 2, and 3. Because there's gonna be no DFS to sweat. Because your night's gonna be over early if you play Gordon Hayward. So don't say I ain't warn you. Where are we? Kyle Anderson, I don't really need. Jaden McDaniels, I don't need right now. Lou Dort, if SGA is out, you can go back to Lou Dort. Jalen Williams, you can play him 21, 5K. He's absolutely in play. I actually played all 5 of the starters in my DraftKings lineup last night, and it worked out because they were just too cheap. Listen, they're starters. You got Giddey, Dort, Jalen Williams, Kenrich Williams, and some other idiot. Guess what? Somebody has to shoot. Somebody has to rebound. Somebody has to steal. Somebody has to block. Somebody has to pass the ball. Those are amazing plays when you're getting starters for 4K, 4,500, 3,500. You know what I'm saying? That was the easiest stack of all time. So yeah, if SGA is out, you go right back to OKC starting lineup and Trey Man. I'm sorry if you're hearing weird noises. I'm just trying to sip this hot ass tea. You know what I'm saying? Feeling a little parched. You know what I'm saying? We got a big 12 game slate, so all right, Herbert Jones 4,900 in play. When Zion Williams takes up a lot of usage. When Zion is not in, all the other starters get a bump, okay? Caleb Martin I don't need. Najee Marshall, if he started for some reason, he's in play. Probably in play anyway. But 4,800 is a little bit risky. You know what I'm saying? For someone not starting. So I prefer him to start. DeAndre Hunter's in play. Harrison Barnes is in play. TJ Warren is in play. 4,500. Sadiq Bey, if he starts, 4,500 in play. Jalen McDaniels, 4,400. Not interested. Neesmith, no thank you. Highsmith, no thank you. Patrick Williams, 4,200 in play. Connaughton, we spoke about that idiot, not in play. Damian Lee, the bozo, no thank you. Terrence Ross is another bozo. AJ Griffin, we don't need. Kenrich Williams, 3,800 in play. If there's no SGA, pay attention to SGA news. KJ Martin in play. All right, let's go to power forward. Okay. Giannis, 11-9. Giannis is seeing all the attention that Luke is getting. He's seeing all the attention that LeBron is getting. He's seeing all the attention that Donovan Mitchell is getting. And he's in his feelings. That's why he's playing the way that he's playing. I promise you. He dropped 55 last night, and I always tell you that Giannis he pays attention to that shit. He wants to be the best, low key. He's not gonna say anything, but you could tell. Like the same way I could tell how LeBron is feeling and his vibes, I could tell with Giannis. Giannis is feeling highly disrespected, and he's gonna keep smashing the opponents until people start putting respect on his name. Last 5 games, 54, 41, 84, 81, and 81 fantasy points. You think it's a coincidence he's dropping 80 straight fantasy points? No, he's feeling some type of way. 11.9K for a guy dropping 80 fantasy points is crazy. Play honest. Find value, play honest. This is probably your last speech you'll ever get from me about Giannis. Find value and play honest at 11.9K. He's showing you what he could do. Randall, 10.5K. A great matchup, but we can't do it today, buddy. No thank you. Siakam, 10.3K. Very tempting. We can't do it. You got to play Giannis. Giannis isn't even 12K. You got to play Giannis. DeRozan, you spoke about DeRozan. Butler, 9K in play. Portis, no thank you. Jaren Jackson Jr., 6,500. He's playing a lot of lineups. He should smash Charlotte by himself. Draymond Green, 6,500. He's only interested when his shooters are hitting shots. If they're not hitting shots, he's not interested. But you could take a shot on Draymond. Evan Mobley, if Evan Mobley is in, good for him. If Evan Mobley is out, Kevin Love gets a bump. Jared Allen gets a bump. Bojan Bogdanovic, 6,200 in play. John Collins, 6K against Sacramento in play. Kevin Love, 5,700. Only if he starts at 5,700, I'm interested. PJ Washington, 5,600. This looks like a matchup where he might give you like 5 fantasy points. Not saying Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams are some type of like low post threat, defensively, but PJ Washington is very sometime-ish. I'm gonna leave it like that. Bol we don't need. Naz Reid, you could take a shot on. Jalen Williams, 5K in play. Make sure you play the right Jalen Williams, the small forward one, 5K. Jabari Smith, you could take a shot on. Isaiah Stewart, you could take a shot on. Torrey Craig, you could take a shot. If you're playing a lot of lineups, Keegan Murray, you could take a shot, 4,100. Troy Brown, if he started, you could take a shot at 3,900. Nothing else really stands out. Maybe Jalen Smith, since what's his name got sent down to the G League. What's his name? Let's pull him up. Yeah, Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah Jackson got sent to the G League, so maybe Jalen Smith gets a few more minutes. I don't know. Pay attention. If you want to play Jalen Smith, then pay attention to Pacers news. What you can do is you can go on Twitter, follow the beat writers for the teams of the players you like to play, and that's how you get a little bit more information on them. The more information you can get on them, the better. So where were we? Let me just make sure I went through all the power forward. Isaiah. This is Jalen Johnson. It's Wainwright. I think we're done with power forward for now. I don't see anyone else that. Yeah, so Jalen Smith, Boucher. Is Boucher even playing minutes? What's happening? Not really. He's useless right now. Okay. Trey Lyles is in play. Yeah, Trey Lyles, and that's it. Baisley, how many minutes did Baisley play? See, 9 minutes. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's why it's hard to trust OKC bench. If they start, that's still not even guaranteed. But when SGA is out, there's a lot of usage and a lot of minutes to go around. So it's a little bit less of a risk. But OKC is a headache. All right, let's go to center and let's get out of here. So we got 11-2 for Joel Embiid. You playing a few lineups, play him. It's a bonus 10.4K, absolutely in play. Okongo's not going to be able to keep him off the board. Bam, he's going to have his way with the Lakers. Fire up Bam, Voot, 7,400. Not really interested. Ayton, tough matchup, 7,400. Good luck with that. DeAndre Ayton. Jared Allen, 6,800. Decent play. Miles Turner, 6,600. That's an okay play. Gobert, I don't need Gobert. Wendell Carter, 6,400. Let's check his minutes. He's been playing. All right, his minutes are still ramping up. Not fully there yet, so I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Claxton, 6,300. You could take a shot. Valanciunas, I am interested in with no Zion. Nurkic, 6,200. I'm interested in him. If he plays Thomas Bryant, I'm not gonna screw around and play him against Bam. I won't disrespect Bam like that. So I'm fading Thomas Bryant for a night. Mason Plumlee, okay play. I prefer Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is basically matchup proof since he gets a lot of his fantasy points from blocks and threes. So like, who's gonna run out and block his threes? No one. So Brook Lopez is pretty much matchup proof. Pirtle in play 5,900. Okongu 5,800. Mitch Robinson's in play. Sengun is in play. Steven Adams looks great at 5,400. Kevin Looney's in play at 5,400. Jalen Duren 5K is in play. And I think that's it for center. Yeah, that's it for center. Drew Eubanks if there's no Nurkic. Let's get 5 guys and let's go. I got a few guys that's too cheap. You know what? Let me just, like I said, with what's going on in the league, Giannis is on a mission right now. So let me just put in Giannis. I don't usually play Giannis on big slates like this, but he's on the warpath right now, and I'm not trying to be on the wrong side of his warpath. So we got Halliburton is too cheap. Van Vliet is too cheap. Brunson is too cheap. Let's pick up Van Vliet. Let's pick up Brunson. OG is kind of cheap too, but I'll still look around for something better. Collins is in play. What else? Let's go to shooting guard. Let's see something. Levine at 73. I'm very interested in this matchup against Brooklyn. Let's get one more player. Josh Hart, Quentin Grimes, OG against Milwaukee, 6,400. Very tempting, very tempting. Jeremy Grant, DeRozan, 9,100. That's not gonna work. I need somebody cheap. Let's pick up Steven Adams. Steven Adams is 5,400 against Charlotte. So love the matchup. I like the price. You're gonna have to find some value if we're gonna play all 5 of these guys. If not, then one of these guys got to come out. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up. I absolutely appreciate it. If anyone is having trouble cashing, if you like my lineup, my finalized optimal lineup sent to you before lot, I can do that for you. Check out my Patreon, linked in the description, or you could DM me on Twitter, and we'll get you squared away. And I already have 5 guys that I like picked out on FanDuel, and it was very hard to find 5 guys because people are priced pretty much appropriately. Nobody's really overpriced. So it was hard to find 5 guys, so I had to make my own narrative. So this is what we're doing. We're going with Valanciunas because there's no Giannis. There's no Zion, so you got more usage, you got more rebound opportunities, more shots close to the basket opportunities, and it's Houston. So Valanciunas should feast. Kevin Love, if Evan Mobley does not play and Kevin Love starts, then you play him at 5,700. Dame Dollar 9,200, too cheap against Minnesota. Anthony Simons, same thing. Like, no one's going to be able to stop these two. So I like both of these guys against Minnesota. I love the matchup. Zach LaVine, because I've been saying since the beginning of the video that I'm looking for a Brooklyn-Chicago close game shootout. And he's only 7,500. He's easier to get to than DeRozan. And that's pretty much it. So that's 5 guys that I like for FanDuel, 5 guys that I like for DraftKings. 12 games up, 12 games down. I appreciate you guys. Hope you had a profitable night. I'm going to get back to sipping my tea. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.